Tam Khan, thanks for coming to my podcast. I tried my best to get you. You're a busy man, but really appreciate.
No, it's a pleasure of mine. I feel bad because as much as I'm on social media, I'm still an old man. I forget every time I'm on social media or networks, I don't understand how to handle messages. I miss so many opportunities sometimes. And they're lucky I met one of your colleagues in the gym and I was like, okay, now let me check it out, So I said, yeah. And I honestly, and not in an arrogant way, I'm very everyday Joe, wear the same clothes. But I don't really enjoy doing too many podcasts, but I saw yours. I like the whole culture of it, the vibe, everything. So I said, yes. I usually say no to many. I just, because a lot of them are repetitive, the same thing. And I'm just like, but I like this. And also martial arts for the Arab audience as well. You have a big following. So that's kind of like the community I also want to sometimes, communicate with. So it's good.
Yes.
Happy to be here.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I loved it. And podcast is something that it happened like not really like coincident and naturally. And I find out how it's important to listen to people, people's stories, and really to change the content that's happening on the social media, which is just pure entertainment, pure just for your mind, or what do you call it, like dopamine, that it's only seeking stories and this. So I find the podcast is like, it's nice. At least we're passing a message. People are relating to it and learning something from it. I'm getting a lot of positive messages, which is something that keeps me going about the podcast.
Yeah, I think it's the future. We used to sit in a generation where you'd go home, watch TV, watch the news, watch channels, and with podcasts, you can see people, you can relate. They'll talk on topics, whether it's depression, marriages, religion. They'll weather everything. And some people relate, and it helps them to see someone else talk about things they're experiencing. And a lot of the time, like you said, social media, it's like real estate, I say. You go on to Bayut.com or Property Finder. You see this house, it's beautiful. When you go to visit, you're like, huh? It doesn't look like this. It's all filtered. People post what they want you to see, not what's true. You don't get someone posting, oh, I have a small my wife left me, I'm broke. You'll never see that. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. No one. The day he does that, people are like, I'm this, I'm that, I drive. It's fake. And I'm in that world. I manage many influencers, and it's frustrating because I have children now. And I feel social media is also a very good tool for businesses, but also is very dangerous for the youth, and pressure of these girls looking like supermodels, filtering fake, or the guys with the muscles and the rental cars, and they put pressure on these young generations. Say, I need to be a billionaire overnight, I need to look like this. And it's 99% is BS, it's bullshit, it's fake. So people need to see that. I'm in this world, I see them, and it's all rubbish. So it's good to let people know that don't believe the hype. Be happy, whatever you're doing, be content, and everyone's mission should be different. Don't chase what someone else is doing, Being self-content is something you have to achieve yourself, but social media can sometimes affect that in a negative way, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we are kind of generation that is like, okay, we are still have the proof, bulletproof in a way, because we've been in both worlds. But the young generation is like really, they are bombarded with all this news and all this motivational talk that between bracket and how to be a millionaire, and how to with the Bugatti in the background, and a lot of stuff that is like really messing their mind. And especially if they show them the results, and some people, they made the results out of it, like maybe in the world of fame and YouTubers, and so they've seen it's confusing, because it's confusing for me. Like if let's say your daughter or your son wants to be on that road, like, hey, I don't want to go that traditional way of maybe business or education. I just want to be a famous YouTuber or a crypto, whatever. How do you deal with them by keeping the traditional ways of teaching them, and then not having them, not to be the one who's like an old school in a way?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to what's successful. What is successful? Just because someone's famous, does that mean he's successful? Just because he has 1 million views on YouTube, or he has a nice car, how do you know they're successful? To him, okay, he's achieved a goal. For me, success could be something different. Success for me is waking up, seeing my kids being healthy. My mother still calls me, my father is still alive. Alhamdulillah. That's for me success. having a roof over my head and food on the table for my kids. Everyone's different. So when people say, oh, I'm a motivational speaker, I made 7 figures in 6 months doing this trading, follow me. Okay, but why do we have to? You might think you're successful, and each to their own. But I'll look at someone's wife as successful. She's bred children. She raised them to be educated, takes them to school. To raise a child, you've got this fetus, this baby from scratch, and you're developing them. Everything they learn is from the parents. So someone who raises kids well, for me, that's success. Or someone who's just happy or who hasn't got a bad disease. I mean, I've lost 3 friends from cancer in the last 3 years, younger than me. Imagine. So if you told that their mother, is that success? Like, you know, what's success to her? It should be having a son back, healthy, not driving a Bugatti or living in a villa on the Palm. So everyone's their own. I think people are drifted away chasing money, goals, and superficial things. Where, for me, what helps me, alhamdulillah, being a Muslim and being close to God, you become more content. You know, you realize the purpose of true life. And I always say it, go to these poor countries like the Philippines, Afghanistan, Syria, Jordan, Palestine, whatever. People are smiling more than they smile here. I see guys, I go to these events, launches, you know, these techie events, I show my face and everyone's sitting there showing off, they're watching, they're walking around. Everyone just got this moody face. They're coming in Rolls Royces, live in Emirates Hills. I'm like, why are you not happy? You're living what people say life. But then you'll see, I have staff, I have cleaners who are smiling, always singing. I'm thinking, they're content. So you have to define what success is. Success is different for everyone else. So when I raise my children and how I was raised, I'll say, whatever you feel is good, be close to your family, respect everyone, just be a good person, as in be close to Allah, be close to God, obey God, be good to everyone, respect everyone's culture, religion, and just be good. Don't be arrogant. Don't dismiss anyone, because today you could have this, tomorrow you could be nothing. It's luck. People say, no, what have I done? I'm just lucky. I had some doors and I took advantage. I'm nothing. Like, okay, I'm on social media, my big face everywhere. It doesn't mean anything. It's luck. Labor workers work 20 times harder than I have ever done in my life. Why are they not successful? They work harder than all of us. So it's not about hard work. It's just the luck, the doors, the opportunity, where you're born, social status. We're lucky. So when you're lucky, you should thank God. God gave us these opportunities. So God can take it away tomorrow. So people should be more content. And I think social media are pushing this narrative, have this, car, that. It's dangerous. And kids feel, imagine, God forbid, kids going to school, their parents are dropping them in a bad car and the other kid comes in a Mercedes. And the pressure they have in the schoolyard, oh, he's popular, he's not. Why? Because of the car. So I want to change this narrative where it doesn't mean anything, you know. That's why I respect people who've made it from nothing, 0 to 100. Not because of what they've done, but they can show that they've had the opportunities, they can do it too. So I believe, yeah, we should push hard work, but I think respect is nowadays has gone a lot. This new social media generation, everything they learn is from a phone. And also, unfortunately, in the UAE, this culture of having maids have it is great. I have a maid. It helps a lot, assists and for things. It gives them opportunities for jobs. But when you let your maid raise your child, that's also very negative. In my opinion, I hate seeing this. These kids become rude, spoiled, shouting at the maids, raised on McDonald's in malls, running around, you know. Discipline comes from the parents. So I believe that teach them good values and how to be, and just be humble with everyone. No hierarchy. If it's a cleaner, someone's a CEO, show the same respect to everyone. And sometimes this lacks in Asia, Middle East, and these regions. Where I come from, Pashtun culture, it's the same. Social statuses. I used to shout at my grandma, say, what are you doing, you know? It's just, it's a culture. They don't mean it, but I feel like, you know, in England, don't do that. Like, everyone's the same, you know? So I think we have to slowly change this narrative and just be more friendlier. And social media, everything's like on steroids. Money, this, that. Like I said, people post what they want you to see, for which gets views and likes, you know? Women showing their big okay, well, each to their own. I don't like it. But these girls sit there, I know them. They'll add this inch, airbrush this. And you see them in person, they'll like send an email to the gym. I'm a big influencer. Can I come free? I'll tag you. So we're waiting. Then I look up and she looks like me with a wig. I'm like, are you the same person? But it's social media, you know?
Yes.
See me in person. Look, I've got a bigger breast than most women. Like, you know? But on my Instagram, I'm like, you know, it's not real, you know? It's not real. And people have to be happy what you are and just enjoying. More people need to speak about this. Success is whatever what makes you feel content. And there is no such thing as rich, poor, cars. It doesn't mean anything, you know? I've seen poorer people with not much money, much happier than anyone with money. So that for me is success, you know.
Yeah, how did you like protect yourself? You've been raised in UK and in from a medium, let's say, what do you say, medium
Middle
size,
class, yeah.
yeah, middle class family, and then because you mentioned like we are lucky to be in Dubai. Yes, we are lucky to be in Dubai, but you've been raised in a place where it's a bit tough, a lot of maybe things that it could have made you drift to a different side, and a place where you mentioned there's alcohol, there is drugs and this, but you've been all your time just not focusing on that, but on the good side in sport and what the thing that protects you
This
from
was
that.
purely upbringing. My parents, my mother, especially my mother. Like, women have such an important role in society, especially the mother. Like in the West, they say, "Oh, you Muslims, Arabs, the women's back." The man is not. The woman is the university. Everything I learned sport from my mother. How to be confident, how to be brave, how to be educated, how to know my religion from her. I was scared of my mum more than anything. To this day, like I'm nearly 43. If I see like a sexual scene comes on a movie, I have to run and change it. I'm 43, even if it's kissing, it's just the respect. So she taught me in a good way how to be in society and, son, Stallone, Arnie, they can do it, you can do it, like this belief. So it's all about parenting. You have to be confident and just teach your kids anything's possible. Whatever you want to do, support them. Don't be too tough. Our cultures are very strict too sometimes, especially in Islam. Don't pressure them. You must do this, you must. Teach them the beauty of religion, whichever religion you are, and tell them, look, these are the boundaries. Don't do this because it's not good. But if you need something, you can speak to me, but try and be better. And then you'll see them develop better if they can feel they can trust you and have conversations. Don't be best friends because you have to have hierarchy. I don't understand this new generation either where they talk back to their mothers and they like friends. But in a way where they respect you and you can talk back, I think I have to thank my parents. And UK also, I wasn't from the street or gangs. I lived in a very good area. My family did so well for us. We lived, alhamdulillah, very good. But yeah, I was around in a predominantly white area. So everyone was drinking every weekend, drugs, girls, this kind of club life. But I never did it because my mum taught me religion at an early age and it's not allowed, son. This haram, this halal. But she'd let me go to nightclubs, experience everything, but know your limit. So I think that helped me in becoming a guy where I didn't really turn into vices, Of course, we all make mistakes. Everyone's human. We'll make mistakes after this, today, tomorrow. I have many bad flaws. People might watch this and go, look, what a character. I'm not, look, I have a bad temper sometimes. I'm always moody. I wake up, I hate mornings. But we have to learn. Sometimes you have to think, I used to get angry, road rage. And then sometime once I thought, who am I shouting at? A delivery driver? How arrogant. This guy works for nothing his whole life. He doesn't know better. And I'm shouting like because he jumped in front of me and I felt embarrassed, how arrogant. So this day, they hit my side mirror or whatever. I'm like, okay, what khalas go, So you have to also understand your position in society and just act accordingly. And it takes time and effort and patience. But I truly believe if you're close to God, whichever religion you are, that humbles you and you try and follow your scriptures or your holy book and the prophets or messengers of your religion. And if you act in that way accordingly, that's how we should try and even 5% follow, whether it's Jesus or Moses or the Prophet Muhammad, peace be on them all. So for me, that helps a lot because before I had many flaws, but I think getting close to God helped me a lot. But back to the question, it's the parenting. I think parenting, everything starts from home. And a lot of people you see in society who have issues, men or women, it stems from the house. Some girls will rebel because daddy issues, we call it. Maybe not a father figure. And the same with guys. So everything is from the home. That's the start. And if you instill that respect, they'll be good in society themselves,
Yeah, as a teenager, Tom, how did you balance between the images that you are taking from the Western, and from US, from UK, and all these images that are kind of like appealing sometimes in terms of movies, in terms of like success, and all on the opposite side from the Islamic world, you only see the negative in a way from the media, let's say, and probably that time where you were in UK, it's it mostly like things happen and the media and this, and how did you protect yourself? Or one, and two, how did you still attach to your religion and protect your religion and defending it from the media that is like imposing the bad news and
Yeah, I know. That was around the 9/11 and
yeah.
7. Yeah, look, Islam for me, I love. I'm a proud Muslim, will always be. But we have bad apples and everything. We do have bad apples. We have issues in our community. I always speak about this. We have people who are too defensive. We should call out also our problems. But I remember Khabib recently made a comment, the UFC fight. It was very good. He said, when it comes to Islam, no, non-Muslims are not going to read the Quran. They'll look at the Hadith. You should be an example. So when you're an example in your character, so people used to see these things and go, well, Tam, he's a Muslim. You're not like that, but these other. So just be a good example yourself. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to defend. Like, if something's wrong, we will say it's wrong. For me, I don't like atrocities in any country. It's not whether it's Arab, Muslim. If I see it in any country or anything bad, whatever the culture is wrong, I'll always stand and say this. But we should be examples. You don't have to sell yourself. You don't have to force it.
Yeah.
When you're an example, people are like, I didn't like this, but how he is. But they can't be like this because Tam's like this and he's an easy character. He's always nice to people. So it speaks for itself. So don't force it. Don't say this, oh, my religion's better than yours. We do this, we do that. Be an example. And when you're an example, your message comes without even trying. So I think that's very important. And to this day, alhamdulillah, I get so many inboxes from Westerners, non-Muslims, who are, I was a neo-Nazi. I hated Islam. I used to say this hate. I used to wish death upon, like crazy guys. Say, but when I see your talk and your messages, it's made me look into culture and religion. I feel this. And with these messages, my favorite. It's not when I get the Muslims come to me, oh, I was in a dark place, because you're born Muslim. We know. It's when I see the people who are born into families which had dislikes to brown skin or Arabs or, this Arabic mentality. I remember a joke 10, 15 years ago. I had a friend go, let's go to Beirut. Let's see Lebanon. It's good. He said, no, Beirut. The way they picture Beirut, it was like the middle of a war, They see this on TV, movies, Beirut. I said, listen, Google it, have a look. It's literally like the Mediterranean in the Arab world. So it's misconceptions. But you have to educate them in a good way without forcing it. Be an example. That's the only way.
Yes, I mean, definitely. I mean, I think you mentioned Habib. It's the perfect example because when Habib showed the MMA fighter, for people who doesn't know him, like the great MMA fighter, but the first image we saw Habib with was this guy with a beard and no mustache and a little bit like too religious, and we kind of like, even with the rise of Conor McGregor, we were like, okay, Conor is the cool guy. Conor, like, we love him. He's funny. He's like, he talk and he's super famous and this and we kind of like, even we as like some Muslim, they were like, okay, maybe I like Conor more. But by time he was like not only showing that yes, he is religious, but he was not forcing it. He was showing how disciplined he are, how a nice guy he are, how he's like really, he loves his family, he how much he loves his father and he respects his mother and he's every day in the gym and don't go to clubs and like he was shocked, like he shocked the people how disciplined he is. Like even all the in US and all the other fighters, they can't compete with him. We can't be as disciplined as him. It's not like as strong as him, because you can born stronger than Habib, but you can't follow the routes that he did, because that's really extreme discipline, and respect.
Course. Yeah, I know. And back to your point, there's no issue liking Conor more. This is not a religion. So, for example, there's many non-Muslims or Westerners I like more than maybe some Muslims. You can have your taste. Like, I think we put too much pressure on ourselves to be like, oh, he's Muslim, I should support him. You can do what you want. But the point of Khabib was he's a good example of his character, how he is, how he's respectful, everything he does. And the more they do that. But there's no issue with liking a Conor or this. Everyone's got their taste, habits. Some like rock music, some like rap music, some like traditional Arabic music. We have to stop putting the stigma. You can't like them. This person dresses like this. As long as it's not, like kind of like influencing you. I like hip-hop music my whole life. Doesn't mean I pull out start drug dealing. I just like the beat in the music. So as long as you're self-controlled, your taste can be anything. But my point with Khabib is just be an example, as in your character will speak for itself, and that's why he earns respect by everyone. So that's what I mean. When you're there, you don't have to push anything. Don't have to defend. Don't have to condemn anything. Be an example, because the media will always portray. There's always a winner and a loser during every era. it was before, from Vietnam, Afghanistan, Iraq, the Russians, the Chinese, now, subhanAllah, the Arabs in Palestine. So every generation, media will portray the bad guy and the good guy. And you have to, without forcing it and falling into a trap, see, you are aggressive. Be an example. That's the only way. Even though it's hard sometimes, we have emotions, we get frustrated, but we have to be sensible, you know? So many times in the UK or Europe, people would draw negative or disrespectful pictures of prophets and try to entice. And I said, tell them, don't react. Why do you that's what they want. They want you to slip up. This is them trying to bring a trap. Show them with class. Let them. This is not going to change. It's not going to affect us. Let them do what they want. This will never defeat anyone. This is thuggism. And let's beat them with how classy we are and this, that. And I truly believe that's the way we should be, you know? Be an example of how the prophets behaved, not what we think emotions or anger should show, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's the al-mu'tadil. What's al-mu'tadil in English? Like the balance between, you know, like to have Islam as a faith for you, for yourself, for the family, and not to push too much in a way that makes people react and be a bad example. Because you have to be religious, you have to love God and the Prophet, but learn from them and act accordingly and respect others.
Exactly. You said it spot on. Be religious, but we have to follow the footsteps of the Prophet. How many of us do? We don't. We're like, oh, you this, arrogance. Well, let's look at the stories of how all the prophets were, how humble, how simple they were, how they treated people. And do we act like that? No. So then we go, oh, haram this, haram that. You should do this. But then look how we are pointing, you know? So we should take a leaf out of our own book for ourselves. And I think we should stop pointing fingers.
Stop
fix
judging
our house,
also.
Khalas, don't judge. Even the Prophet, they let non-Muslims live, worship their own, respect and live in the land and protected them. So who are we to judge? You know, this is not how you do it. And in the Quran it says it's clearly, you know, there's no compulsion in religion. So who are we to say? Are you going against God's word? So there you go. So I think more of us have to educate ourselves on our own religion before we start preaching.
Yeah, but Tom, it's very difficult because sometimes you see examples of people who are living, like, say, socially very open-minded and having, you know, maybe going to clubs and going doing everything in what we say is like modernized, and but one day you find that they kind of disappear and go an extreme to the religious life. How to balance between, you know, you have to stay normal to yourself and not judge people, because sometimes they shock you, like, okay, I know you were open-minded, I know you were talking to other girls and then like suddenly they go to the Islam in an extreme way, which is fine. I mean, it's their, I respect them, but just like they disappear from life, you know.
I have a friend in London, Shamsi. He's a good brother, and he says it's like a cake. If you eat the whole cake at once, you're gonna feel sick, no? Do that with religion, just piece at a time, slowly. A lot of reverts come to me. I said, don't listen to anyone. Take your time, step by step. It's not intentional. Don't jump from one extreme to the other, because it won't last. You know, do what you can, and that's it. I'm born Muslim, and I've made more mistakes than anyone. So what do you expect for other people? It's a pressure. Again, it's social media. They have to wear this, I have to be like this, I have to say this. Just be yourself. There's only one judge for all of us. There's only one person, one creator, one power will judge us. Do not worry about others, and don't care about looking a certain way for other people, because trust me, for now you're the flavor of the month, next month you're not. When you're 6 foot under and you're dead, no one's going to remember or care. So just be yourself, and step by step, and just do what you can. If that means you're going to pray a few times a day and still, okay, it's a sin, but whatever, take your time. Don't have to just do what you can. So don't put pressure on yourself. And the people who do that, they go from crazy to extreme, back to this. And, you know, it's like tennis. So that's why they have problems. I always tell them, don't, step by step, slowly. Okay, you've gave up alcohol, good step. Just do the easy, you know. So it's like a cake. If you eat a big cake at once, you'll feel sick.
Yeah, and
have a slice.
Don't fake it. Don't hide your religion. I mean, you can do whatever your lifestyle, but don't hide it, because you're shy from it, and then people will see the extreme that, oh, you've completely, I mean, disappeared and went back to Islam, because you have to be a Muslim, but you have to show it in a way, and still be balanced. I mean, you're balanced, and it's difficult to have it because you're religious. You came here, you asked to pray, and then you came and you prayed before we start the podcast. But at the same time, you are open-minded, not judging people. It's hard sometimes to do it because you need to do sometimes be socially under pressure with maybe females, with entertaining some people. You have a business. How do you keep the balance?
It takes time. It's also your character. Some people are very introverted. We're kind of confident. So everyone's each their own. So I feel bad. Some people, they don't communicate as well. They might mean this, their heart. So I just tell them just to be yourself. Do not stress or think of what people. To this day, I get bad comments. Oh, your wife doesn't cover. Yeah, this. You don't think I get crazy abuse 24/7, but I don't care. You know, like I do not care. I get abused for everything. Your gym's mixed. You listen to music. I know my flaws and good. But my point is, I try my best. So whatever you do, you could be the most perfect Muslim. If there one exists, it doesn't. You'll still get cussed. You could be the most perfect humanitarian. That's why I said to people, be yourself. You're going to get judged no matter what. I get abuse. As much as I get good respect, I get so much abuse. Non-stop jealousy. This is society. You have to... do I care about some dork in his mum's basement messaging and making a fake account? It's like, it doesn't affect me. The day someone comes in my face, it's different. He's not going to... So I'm like, okay, whatever. Fake goes to... You're going to get it. So you can't take it to heart. We live in a society where social media is a tool where anyone can just cuss someone from a different country. It's not like when I was growing up, you'd had to go in their face and say it.
Yes.
It's a different story.
Yes.
Which you can't. So don't stress and just be yourself. Like you said, be original, be yourself. And then people will understand and see it. They'll respect you more. And never like sacrifice your morals to fit in with someone or to sell yourself. Never do it, because in the long term, you'll always lose. Whatever your beliefs, cultures are, your respect or your family values, stick by them and you'll be safe. In my opinion, you'll always be on a good road.
How much sport played like a role in your life to keep, Islam was like a very, very the pillar of all your family, your Islam, but also sport, how much it's affected your mental life, your business life, and your morals. And
of course, so much. I mean, me doing a sport, and I'm no Khabib, I'm nothing. I'm just an average fighter. From this, I've opened opportunities to, alhamdulillah, living in Dubai, making my earnings from a sport which was nothing in years ago. So, like, the passion, do what you love and love what you do. I truly do. So, alhamdulillah, I'm blessed, whereas for me, it's not working. Like you, this is not, I don't feel it's work. I'm enjoying what I do and making a living from it so far. So, alhamdulillah, I hope it continues. And this sport of MMA has opened doors to me, meeting royals, senators, pop stars, rappers, sheikhs, you name it. So it's like a men's barbershop, For me, the gym is the barbershop. All the guys go, oh, I had this problem yesterday, I had this bill.
Yeah.
My wife's annoying me. This girl doesn't call me. This bills. It's just, for me, it's socially. It's good for the mind. How many people go gym to really train? Unless you're a professional. It's to train with a friend, talk, what's up, catch up. Your wife's like, why have you been 5 years? Yeah, just talking, So I like this atmosphere environment. It's a man thing, So, yeah, truly, I love being around it. I love developing new fighters. I love the other aspects of it. And the discipline, it does show, because it gives you a confidence where I was raised in a predominantly white, racist area. It wasn't racist. It was in that generation where, if anything, other color, you're a Paki, you're a Arab, you're a... My mum threw me in the gym, said, you have to fight. Don't be scared of any man. Be confident. If it was for... I saw many bullies, So I had to learn this at an early age. And from that, you get confidence. So I don't think I'm nothing. But if I'm like in the street or someone comes, I'm not going to be... They can see that I'm not... They're not going to try and approach me because it's confidence. So it gives you that self-confidence discipline where you can protect someone. I feel every man, not to be a champion, but should do some sort of sport to keep healthy, because it coincides with the mind. And also with society now, how we're the guinea pig generation. These Pepsis, Cokes, KFC, pizza, whatever, all these substances, we never really did research how it's affecting us inside. So I think everyone, whether it's a walk or a cycle, do some kind of activity or fitness, because it will, trust me, there's no negativity to it. There's only positivity. It releases endorphins. So everyone should stay fit in any way they can. And then they'll be more, mentally happier when they deal with people. How many times you wake up in a bad mood, you go to the gym, you're like, yeah, I feel good now.
Yes.
So I think everyone should incorporate it, and health is wealth. So I think stay healthy for your kids, family, and it's important. I need to take this advice myself. I love sugar. I love eating bad food, But now I said, promise myself 3 weeks, no more sugar. So yeah, it's a big part of my life, but I also enjoy it. So, really thank Alhamdulillah that I can be in an industry where my passion is, when so many can't, so I'm blessed in that way. So for me, that's one of my happy success things, where for me, I don't feel like I'm working. I enjoy it.
When did you start? And it became famous from UFC. I mean, I give credit to Conor, but probably he also pulled the generation to this sport, and we all love it. I mean, I started watching UFC just from Conor.
Yeah, of course.
And how do you see it like now? It's kind of like a complete martial arts, MMA as a mixed martial art, as it's called, and. You started to defend yourself? You started from that fact, or you started because of like you knew it, and how did you start?
First, my mother put me in the gym. She goes, get some muscles, be big, don't be scared. I was like, huh?
She was worried about you.
Yeah, because first day is like a race. She goes, go in there, be like Mike Tyson. Learn how to fight. Don't bully anyone, but we're Pashtun. We don't take from no. My mother's very tough. She's like the boss. Is my family. It's my mother. Yeah, it's not my dad's very chill. My mother's like, go do this, do that. Don't be scared For example, if I ran away from a boy, I'd be more scared of the beating my mother would give me or tell me off.
Wow,
so she'd be like, go out there and kick his ass. Don't be scared of anyone, She gave me that mentality to be brave. So she put me to train boxing and gym and stuff. And then I read a magazine, because in those days there was no internet. I'm old. A magazine. I said, this family undefeated in no holds barred, no rules fighting. I'm like, who? They were called the Gracies. I was like, what's this UFC? And I went and got a VHS tape from this shop. And it was UFC 1, and this skinny man with a kimono gi is kicking ass and submitting everyone. Royce Gracie, who we all know is now as Royce Gracie, the first UFC champion, and this family started MMA. I fell in love, and I just looking everywhere. Google just came, and I found one gym, one guy in my area who started teaching this art, Brazilian Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I went there, and the rest is history. I fell in love. And subhanAllah, the crazy thing is, the guy has to watch these tapes of my hero. We're like best friends now. Me and Royce Gracie.
Yeah. Wow.
He comes here, visit a lot, and actually he only reverted to Islam 5 days ago. He was all across the internet.
Wow.
And so what a surreal life, like I used to watch him. I wanted to get that sport, and then we became close friends, and I brought him to UAE in 2009 to develop MMA and educate the masses. And so it just shows like that manifestation and trying and keep pushing, and things can happen if you really want to, put the effort in.
Talk me through it. You went from UK to here, and when did you open TK?
I came here in 2008. I came on holiday 2005, 6, I think, or 7, a few times, and I
never knew TK is Tam Khan. To be honest, just like now I know. Yeah.
You thought it's a chicken tikka or something. So then I came on holiday many times. I was like, wow, what a place. It's like a Muslim country with beaches. These malls are like, we don't have malls. We have shopping centers. Like your office are like our shopping centers. I was like, what are these places? Ski slope here, this, that. Then I went back to UK, and it was like a wind, grey, depressing. And I'm sitting there, this is not for me. Not married. Nothing's holding me back. And I had a few ideas. I was in Dubai on holiday, and I had a fight coming up. And so I'd Google MMA gyms. I couldn't find anything. I'm like, why? This place has everything, but they haven't got this. Gyms, but not one connected. So I went back, and I was thinking, what? One day I'll open something there. So I came back, and I said, khalas, I'm going to go. So I told my family, everyone, I'm going to go for a month to just try it out. Went, never turned back, and trying to educate people, doing classes, Safa Park, hiring studios, renting, and trying to educate the public. And there was a newspaper. Remember 7 Days? It was like the first newspaper. It was free. One journalist found out. He goes, can I come to one of your classes, do a write-up? I said, okay. He did it. And I'm on front cover, and I'm like holding him in a choke, and he's like this, and it says something like cage fight in Dubai. And they left my mobile number in the article, and I had about 10 calls.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Then the class became busy, all due to this fact. From their teaching, I opened a few gyms. I called it different brands to be cool. Like Contender was the first, 2010, the first fully functional mixed martial arts facility in the region, GCC, I think, or Middle East maybe. The first cage, everything. Then others. I did Dubai Fight Championship, which is the first MMA show in Dubai. Many things. And then it came to a point where, like in life, you have challenges. You go business with some people, you have investors, things don't go to work, you have fallouts, egos. To the point I said, Khalas, I'm going to do my own brand, my own name. I keep building these brands. Someone keeps stealing them from me.
Yeah.
Enough. And I thought, I'll just do TK, make some of my own name and stuff, and formed that in the 2015-16. And alhamdulillah, I'm just happy with it. We've got a good community there.
You have a community. You have a nice vibe. I went there and it's just like you just feel immediately there's a community. It's a vibe. It's not just a gym. You know, it's just like,
exactly. I don't want that. I don't want people coming in like staring at people or acting tough. Everyone, my staff know everyone's names. We have UFC superstars train there. We've had WWE superstars. We've had actors. You name it, it's like the hub, and like it's so refreshing. I travel around the world. People know the gym. When you sometimes, what, you know? That TK, I'm like, wow. And that's like an achievement for me. Like LA, wherever they go, it's kind of like known. So like, yeah, it's my little baby. I enjoy it. I've been offered many times to sell it. I'm like, nah, and good substantial amounts of money. For me, it's not about the money. I'm like, what would I do?
Yes.
It's my escapism. What would I do? Unless it's really a lot of money. Okay, I'm not lying, guys. Like, if you offer me a lot, I'll sell it. But you know,
that's your identity, that's your community,
it's my little baby, you know. So it's where everything happens, problems, this, that, stress release, kids come, we develop fighters, celebrities come,
exactly
vibes, community workout. It's just the best.
The celebrity, and a lot of like, I was like wondering, like all the celebrities and the MMA celebrities, like Islam, Khamzat Chimaev, and they go there and they feel like home, you know. It's like they feel like it's just like, okay, it's the place, they know you.
We've had like Khamzat, it's his gym now. He comes, he does his camps. We've got Leon Edwards, he's also the welterweight champion. Aljamain Sterling. We've had big superstar wrestlers there, Steven Seagal, world champion boxers. So yeah, it's really cool. And just we've developed like a culture where I was in Los Angeles in this last summer and I went to the famous Gold's Gym. I wanted to see Arnie, one of my heroes, and I went there. And it's that kind of outdoor gym. And I was looking around thinking, hey, we're actually nicer gym than this, but this is so big. Like, it's the culture, you know. There's so many beautiful fancy gyms, 5-star. They'll lift the weights for you. You'll have a butler, you know.
Yeah.
But in America, I was watching the culture in the US, and it's outdoors. It's the whole vibe. So I'm bringing that kind of twist here. You know, Dubai, everything's 7-star.
Mm-hmm.
My gym's more that kind of vibe. I want it to stay that way. You know, you still get luxury, but I give you the aspect of real fitness, raw sweat, dirt, blood, sweat and tears. That's what I want. I want them to feel that. So that's why we're a little different to everyone else.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the only compared the gym I find out is the CrossFit gyms that because I went to CrossFit also 10 years ago, and I find like, you know, it's a community which is nice about it. And then also went to your gym, and it's like it has that vibe. It's a community. Everybody's just doing, and it's very raw and have a different places. It has the outdoor, indoor. So it's not like the polished, typical and just 5 stars. I one time I went to a gym here in Dubai. There's an escalator in the gym. I was like, like you were going there to train, and there's an escalator. There's just one floor. Like how lazy we are.
That says it all, you know. It's like I do it myself, so I have to laugh. There was a meme. You're telling me you go to a gym just to walk on a treadmill, you know? And I was like, I do it myself. I was like, oh, but this is the culture we're in now, you know.
Yeah, tell me slightly about Khamzat Chimaev. How much close you are, and how do you see that guy? I mean, he's crazy and amazing, and he started like he raised so high, you know, fight it back to back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he honestly is like a brother. We're not just friends. He's like a brother to me, younger brother. One of the nicest guys in the world, but honestly, probably the strongest guy I've ever met or come across. Imposing. He is honestly, the word beast is used too easily, you know. The guy is a freak of nature, so strong, tough. And if he stays injury-free, inshallah, and no other external factors or issues and people being jealous, I think no one can beat him. I've never come across him. I've been around everyone. I don't want to say names. I've been around everyone in the sport. I know many. I've never seen an athlete like him, so strong, powerful, determined in his belief. He does not care. He's one of the, this, like, I don't give a F kind of mentality. He doesn't care for whoever you are. He's laughing on the day of the fight. He wants to fight. He doesn't give a shit. He's the killer. Whether he's got a fight or not, he trains all the time. Intense. He's got this whole intimidating factor, genetics, size, height, and like I'm a strong guy, like to the average man, he's a freak of nature strength. I can't explain. And really humble, quiet guy. All fans, I've met many personalities and they come and sometimes they're arrogant when people come picture there, He stops for everyone, even though he's not a smiley guy. He's like, but he's a very good character, very got a human side, always speaks up when people are afraid. You saw the last UFC about Palestine, he got on the mic. So a lot of people are scared. He comes out, you cannot say do this, do that. He's not a yes man. If he wants to do it, he'll do it. You can't control him, He's a man's man. And that's why I respect him. And inshallah, I wish him all the best. I hope he becomes a champion, gets the opportunity to fight for the title. And honestly, a great role model for kids and another person who can show with hard work what you can do. He used to live in a gym. He had nothing. And I look, one of the highest paid UFC fighters, one of the most famous in the world, and just being himself.
Yeah, literally, he used to sleep in the gym.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you think that that effect that happened to him, the corona thing, did it affect him on the long run, or is he just like...
He's had ups and downs. He was very unwell recently. There's a hospital near Al-Zahra. We were there, and it says in the Quran, you'll have tests and trials and tribulations. They test your character. That means God loves you the more you have. So it's not going to be easy. He's getting a lot of tests. He has injuries. He's had a lot of speed bumps, but his mentality is just he. You bring him a bear or a lion, he says, "Yeah, I'll beat him. I'll fight." He's like this. So I think it's just timing and luck again. If he gets the title shot, it's timing. It's luck. It's technically and skillful and power. He can beat anyone. But it's luck of the fight, the timing and the detail. If everything coincides, he'll be the champion. Again, it's Allah's will,
Yes, but he's. You feel like he's depending a lot on his genetic and strength and let's say willing to beat anybody, but just like slightly he's over motivated in a way that he might miss some technical honor with an expert.
Literally, anyone gives him advice, he'll take it. He has no ego. Coaches come, he trains, his stand-up's good, his kickboxing, everything, he's disciplined. It's just due to other factors of injuries and whatever they are, he doesn't get so much activity. So it's once a year fighting. So of course it's rust and waiting. So every time he has a rest, it's back to square one. Rust is a big problem in fighting. You need to have more fights to be, get those rounds in. It's called rust. Get the rust off. So he's always starting straight from the blocks. Every time an opponent pulls out, he has to change last minute. It's just like I said, it's the luck. If all the things connect right, he'll be the champion already. It's just a matter of all these factors. And this is, again, like I said in life, luck. It's whether you get the opportunity or not.
Is he fighting in UFC 300?
He was trying to get the fight, and then it's Ramadan, obviously, and things like this. So for him, that comes first. So I think his next fight will be in Saudi in June. There's a show coming in Saudi. A big fight.
Like all the... You can't fight in Ramadan, yeah?
Yeah, I mean...
It's hard.
Fast. And plus it's a holy month, so people like Hamza, Islam, Habib, these guys... Also holy, they want to enjoy Ramadan, where really take advantage and pray and be close to God and be with the family. So you can't be fasting, do this, then go camp in the evening and not really take advantage of praying.
Okay, so it's not about food only. It's just the whole guys, month.
Trust me, these guys, if you make them, they could still fight. They're that good. Islam, Hamza, all the guys. But also, it's the holy month of Ramadan's not just fasting and iftar and hanging around in tents and smoking shisha. It's doing the charity, being a good person, why we fast, how to get more reward and pray and read the Quran. So it's a whole more to Ramadan than fasting and sleeping all day till the sunset comes. That's not Ramadan, you're taking the wrong step. You should really embrace what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, you've met so many celebrities. One of them is Andrew Tate, and I don't know if that's true, but you just like kind of like you're the one who made him go to Islam,
Well, Allah
or
made him go to. So I was with him, and he was always interested. So my idea was, let's go to a masjid and see how you feel. But I've known him since before. We used to fight on the same shows when we were young. So we were in the sport before. I've known him over 16 years, maybe 17 years. And we always stayed in touch and stuff. And then when he got banned from everything, I said, look, come to Dubai. Let's do a little talk with you. Let's get your name back. And Dubai, just the women were, no, oh, loving Dubai. I was getting abused. He's a womanizer. They said, listen, the show can't go on. But I understand. I respect the laws of Dubai because I don't want the West to say, see, the Middle East, the womanizers, they're letting him do a show. So we cancelled the show. We could have done it. We cancelled it. And he came here. And then, yeah, he's always been supportive of Islam. Anyway, in speeches, he likes the respect and things. And then we're sitting there in a cigar lounge and with Steven Seagal, another guy who's a Hollywood celeb. We're just talking about religion and ethics, and we have deep talks. And I said, listen, Tate, I want to take you to a mosque one day. You know, no one's around. I don't care, rich, poor, muscly, strong, president, cleaner. When you bow and put your head to the floor, you see you're a slave to the creator of God. Everyone's even. Just to feel, it's a nice feeling to know that and just close off on the world. He goes, bruv, I'd love to go. He goes, I want to revert as well. So I'm like, oh, I thought he's just lying then. Yeah, weekend we went there, we did it, like that video which went viral. I said to him on post, he goes, you sure? I said, listen, this might go crazy, but I want to show people another side of you, not just money, girls, and show the real you, because he is real, but also you put those glasses on and he's on this podcast, he's very, you're like, whoa, he's got this charisma. But the real him is very quiet. Like also on his side, he works non-stop. He's very, very respectful person. He's the kind of guy, you know, like our culture. If your wife comes in or a sister and he's like this, he doesn't even look in their face. You know, he's from a different culture, but you get our own culture like this, like staring like a pervert. It's in him. Him and his brother are very respectful, very kind-hearted, good guys. So don't forget, social media likes to spin them in a bad way, but again, he's another guy. You can't tell him what to do. He's his own man. He doesn't care. He doesn't fear anything. So, yeah, he reverted. It was a beautiful thing. And because of him, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of people have come to Islam. Or he's shown them a side where they're like, why would he do it? He's a multimillionaire. He has all the women he has. Why is he going to Islam to restrict himself? They can't understand it. So it makes people get interest. So, yeah, I always defend him. He's like a brother to me. Speak all the time, and he gets a bad rap from people because the way the media manipulate it, but I know the real guy. And I've always said on podcasts, I'm a father of two, I'm a Muslim. If I believed he was that evil and bad and this, do you think I'd promote him publicly, you know?
no?
Impossible.
But Tam, we always doubt, like, not everyone, but just like, you know, he converted to Islam just because he wants to take also the attention of this region and the protection of that. At the same time, with the big refused or pushed against him from the European world, which is like more of a toxic masculinity and you know, all these things, and he's just like trying to get another arm, let's say, which fits his personality. And so
I don't know, if you get money for reverting or the sheikhs help you, tell me now, because then everyone will do it. I hear this too and it makes me laugh. Him reverting and going to a Romanian court holding a Quran is actually worse than being a Christian. He's in a country which has got a history of Islamophobia, wars against Islam. He walked into a courthouse in Romania holding a Quran. That's not going to help you in any way, believe me. So if he is, like people say, he would have done that, because that judge could have been like, yeah, okay, Muslim, then boom. So it's a silly argument, because it's offensive to Muslims in the UAE that you become Muslim and you get this. It doesn't work like that at all. The UAE is the most multicultural place. Majority of people are expats. He did it truly out of himself. And to all those who ask that, go on and watch his videos. For the last 3 years before that, he's been promoting Islam. On every podcast, he talks about you can't disrespect the Prophet, the rules, they don't take shit. So it's a lot of jealousy, and people just don't like him because he's outspoken. But they say he said this. I said, show me where he said that. Show me where he did this. You're taking edits of a podcast. Someone might take something from here and edit some things, and you know, That's the media. But like I said, he tells men to be confident, strong, train hard, respect elders, not to be degenerate. And these things, and these are good messages for the young generation who are the role models? Who? Gangster rappers, the women, Kim Kardashian. Like, really? You think I want my daughters to be looking up to Kim Kardashian or Beyonce shaking their booties on stage? No. I'd rather them look at someone like Queen Rania or Princess Diana. There's no role models. So it's refreshing to have a man like him tell guys, be smart, be respectful, make your money. You don't have to be, I'm from nothing, I can work, you can do too. It's better than guys go, yeah, let's watch this, let's be a gangster, or let's be this, let's be that. And again, don't forget, he's been investigated through a microscope for years, bugged, watched, and still there's no evidence. So if you're truly doing something, you'd be in jail by now. If you're 24/7, someone's watching you, you're going to slip up, you're going to say something bad. So
after 3 weeks of converting to Islam, he just went to Romania, and he
had a TV interview in London with Piers Morgan, and he goes, and we were speaking, he goes, look, what are you doing for New Year's? I said, I'm just home with the family. He goes, yeah, I might come. I go, yeah, come, I'll fly back, or shall I stay in Europe? I go, come, it's just boring, you might not like it. He goes, no, I love that, fireworks, I'll bring the family, we'll chill. And then I think he went to Romania to get clothes, and they knew he was there, set up, boom. When do you have police raids when you bring high definition cameras and it's all on TV? This is a trophy. They want to show, look what we're doing. And when you look into the case, there's people who have arrested him, there's elections coming, they want to be elected. So it's like a trophy. Because again, almost 2 years, no evidence, no conviction. We've proven the people against him, she's lied, she's proven on tape. They've found WhatsApp records of them trying to set him up. A woman who's accused men in the US before of these crimes. A woman who made men kill themselves. One committed suicide, one's in jail in life. She does this for money and manipulation, and yet he still can't leave. They're taking why would you take his cars if he's what's that got to do with the crime you're convicted of? So you see, it's a financial thing, is this and that. Yeah, he's not in jail. Why? Because every court and judge sees it and goes, there's no evidence.
He's not in jail, but he can't leave his house.
Yeah, but this is because they don't know what to do. I think they've put themselves in a bad position where they've made it such an international thing. But they're like, okay, if we go to jail, then this is a problem with human rights, and maybe the American embassies get involved. So what do? Let's prolong, let's keep taking money. So it is a circus, but unfortunately, that's his test from God. So I guess it's a test to see how he reacts. Like everyone has their tests in different ways.
Do you keep in touch with him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we speak a lot daily.
And do you think he's going to be out of that soon?
Inshallah, I pray so. I pray. He loves the Middle East. He wants to live here.
You want to come back to Dubai?
Yeah, he's got properties here. He was here all the time. But again, Allah knows best. In my opinion, yes, I think the way things are going, I've looked at the case and it's just nothing. I can't see why not by the end of the year he should be released, because every so often it went from jail to house arrest to staying in Bucharest, now freedom. So every step they're letting more and more. Mm-hmm. They're bringing the cut. Why are they doing this? If you're guilty, they won't do this.
Why do you think they stopped him? Why do you think they accused him with all these things? Let's suppose that this is all fake and he's never been involved in women trafficking or children trafficking or whatever the accuses are. Why do you think they done this to him?
There's many. Obviously, one girl tried to make money from him. If you see the archives of her WhatsApp chats, she asked for this and that. He said no. All of a sudden, next day, she does a whole sting set up for money. Secondly, when you speak against certain things and you're too vocal and you've got a big following, look at
he's the threat.
Look at Israel. People are protesting for Israel, still saying Israel on the right side. So, forget Andrew Tate. You're watching a war where kids are getting murdered, genocide, and people still support Israel. Let alone, Andrew, it's just manipulation. It's people when they will manipulate the media. So with him, it's the same thing. He used to speak out about things like COVID. He'd speak about the way the governments do things, changing the way, and millions of kids, young guys, listen to him, and they don't like this. When you're too powerful and big,
yeah, he's stronger than the traditional media.
Yeah, in your old day, they'll just murder you. They can't do it, so they'll assassinate your character. Look at Michael Jackson, how famous he was. Then they made these allegations. He does this. Why? When you see a successful black man so powerful, it's dangerous. He was people would faint when they see him. He'd speak about Sony. He'd spoke about controlling the music industry. He owned half of Sony. That was dangerous for them. They didn't like it. You know, he owned all the labels. A black man doing this in a kind of country. So how's the best way to ruin someone's life? Assassinate their character. You did this, you did that. Kill them with financials. So this is all rubbish. And now I think people are more and more understanding how the media can manipulate. When you see what's going on in Gaza and people still trying to side with Israel, then what else, what do you expect for small things like this? You know, this is unfortunate. This is society.
How do you think influencers who doesn't speak about be with Gaza and because they are afraid to talk? I mean, you're now talking about it. You're not worried about your being banned from here and there. What do you think about that?
I don't want to say. Look, there's sheep and there's warriors, and you can choose which side you want. For me, it's not about the religion. If you're a father or you're human and you see kids and women getting butchered, babies dying on TV, and you still can't speak up, and you can relate to that region, then you're just a joke. Like I see, like DJ Khalid, like this guy should have a. Don't think like he probably does have a. Guy such a. He's Palestinian. He can't speak up because his slave masters they fund him. That tells you his character, you know. Like I can't have respect for that. You've got Floyd Mayweather, a black American, African American, who've been like treated like the whole history in America with slavery and the way they're oppressed. As a black man, you should know what oppression is. Doing marches with Israel, I'm like, you know, he reminds me of the movie Django. You remember Samuel Jackson, the houseboy, Uncle Tom? Like another sellout clown. These people are dorks and I can't take them seriously. And people should be careful who they follow. These guys are sheep. They just do where the money is. I don't expect everyone to speak out because I can understand people are afraid, but I lost a potential sponsor for a brand because of my outspokenness on Palestine. I don't care. Like, I don't do it for nothing because if you don't speak up, then what's the point? You know, like for me, it's genocide. It's sick. And for me, it's funny when people are silent about it because it's just a shame what's going on. And the more the youngsters should speak about it. And I'm against being rude and abusive to Jews because it's not about the Jewish religion. This is about Zionism and the Israeli government. So don't mix that up with being online and giving Jewish, because many good Jewish people, I know many, and they understand it's wrong. But this is about a nation who've stole land. It's a fake nation who've stole land, come to your house, kick you out, lock you in the garage, then say you can have some food here and there. And then, you know what, you've annoyed me, let me kill you. Like, and people still side with it. It's a joke. And I think more, especially Arab influencers, should speak up about it. And the more support, highlights it more for the media. Because nowadays, the media's control a lot of it by Israel. So this podcast, social media, we have to use it positively. It's the only way. We're lucky people know what's going on. You know, God forbid, like before Twitter, and you wouldn't even know what's going on. They've been doing this since 1948. People think it started October 7th. I'm like, do some history. 1948, they kicked everyone out of the house. And what are you talking about? This didn't start then. This is a reaction to being oppressed and brutally like locked in an open air prison. So I'm not going to judge whoever doesn't speak out, but for me, again,
we need to do more. We need to do more.
Yeah, look, everyone knows what they're doing. Like for me, I'm not fearful of anything. Respect the laws of the land you live in, everything. Don't be silly. Don't be emotional. But you should speak up. It's clear genocide. Anyone who supports them publicly, I've seen people I've unfollowed and my friendship's done. If you can support something like that, you're just scum, you're a monkey yourself. So it is what it is. And I mean, people like Jordan Peterson, these dorks people used to look up to, motivational speakers, guys who cry on camera. He's all about masculine, but he's crying. And then he's like about being a victim of when he used to speak about pronouns. And then again, he tells Israeli to blow up Palestine. I mean, the guy's a dog. He blocked me on Twitter, Mr. Tough Guy. You've got that little rat, Ben Shapiro, Pretzel. He talks shit all the time. I hate these monkeys and I'll always abuse them. Until they'll ban me on the socials. I've been banned on so many, I don't care. But it is what it is. I'll always do it because I don't care. And the more people speak out about the better. But obviously, don't abuse them. But if someone's going to support Israel, that means you're supporting the murder of innocent children. I will abuse you. I'm sorry, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I used to love, I still love Jordan Peterson. I can say
I
no,
can't.
but
The guy's a donkey.
I'm against what he said,
He's a
definitely.
big donkey. Get that out, yeah.
But I mean, look, you can't be with him when he talked about, let's say, talking about the LGBTQ community is like be a man and fighting for the freedom of speech. And okay, I love him here and I hate him there.
Yeah, but look, I'm Muslim. I don't agree with homosexual these things, but I don't agree. But some of these people are not Muslim, so they're not harming me. I just don't want them to push it in the media. But I'd rather see a gay pride event than Israel what they're doing. This is about the murder of kids compared to some gay guy wearing stilettos with a and a bra. Like, there's a difference. So Jordan Peterson's doing things which make him monetize their money, but you see his true colors. He contradicts himself, and he's like, I lost so much respect for people like that. Where I was like, you know what? You're not really about what you say. You're not. You say that, but you're not. Are you really living that life? No, you don't. You're not about that life. There's an old quote we say. So he's smart. He's got his likes here, but I think he lost a lot of respect in the Muslim world and the Arab world in general. Because, like I said, this could be in any country. If I saw this massacre, whether it's Africa, Sweden, Europe, you'd stand against it. There's no excuse for killing innocent women and children in any.
Of course.
If you want to kill armies, terrorists, wars, whatever, of course, you have every right to defend your fake made-up country. Okay, I understand that angle a little bit if you want to say this, but this is just a joke. Aid trucks killing, locking them up, not letting aid come, keep bombarding. Yeah, I'm sure I don't think Israel will be letting me in if I want to go on holiday anytime soon.
Yeah. Tam, you said two things that are contradicting a little bit, which is like, okay, empowering kids and young guys, which is Jordan Peterson, one of them, who was like really empowering young guys. Andrew Tate is the same as well, each with his own way. But at the same time, you said Jordan Peterson is crying.
I'll explain this. Yeah,
because I want to ask you, because you said like I don't cry. I've hold myself. I don't like to cry, and I've never cried. And maybe you cried after you had your kids or something like that. You became more softer. Yeah. But why you're against man crying and showing his emotions?
So I'm not against that. I'm against Jordan Peterson doing, because he pushes this whole masculine. Anti this, that. His whole selling point is masculinity and this alpha male and this red pill. But yet he cried and being tough. But then he was on medication for depression and therapy and cried on a podcast. But he's contradicting what he's selling. If I sell you do this punch, do this is how you fight. Then I come to a fight and I do this and I run and get knocked out. I'm fake. My point is he's a fake. He's selling something he doesn't incorporate himself. That's why I said the cry. All right, I can cry and watching Lion King, if I see kids like in Gaza, these videos that make me cry all the time. But that's not like thing. I'm not pushing, don't cry like this. I say when I'm in front of people, I don't like to do it because I'm seen as an anchor. Everyone's different. But Jordan Peterson pushes this wake up, walk.
Do your bed.
Do your best. Wake up your bed. But you're on drugs, medication for depression. So you take a leaf out of your own book. You know what I'm saying? Take a leaf out of your own book. Andrew Tate does this, that. Yeah, your daughter was sleeping with him. Like, you know what I mean? Peterson, his daughter was chasing Tate. If I want to expose him, I can expose the guy, He's just it's a contradictory. It's like a vegan eating a hamburger later at night and gets caught on Instagram. That's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Don't conflict the two. I'm saying Jordan Peterson's contradicting what he pushes. It's like me saying I'm praying and then you see me outside with a whiskey. I'm like, oh, sorry.
No, but that's slightly different, because I'm saying like you can be strong and be emotional at the same time. You can be strong and be
but on medication and going to therapy. He's saying get your mind is this, the ice cold baths, be strong against pronouns, mocking them. Then he's on drugs he needs a therapist. What I mean is, for me, my therapist is praying. I never have and never will. I've had situations, most guys will do this. I don't talk on podcasts, literally will slit their wrists. I swear, when I do two sujood, I go down rakahs, I pray, I'm like, yeah, good. So, and that's why I push it to people. I'm saying this helps, or pray to God, this helps. Why? Because I do it. I won't say something I don't do. I won't say, use this technique or buy this. If I tell you something, it's because I've experienced it. I'm telling you it works. He says that, but does another thing. That's why I'm saying he contradicts everything he sells. You know, he can't. It's like a guy saying ice bath, but doesn't use it.
Yeah, but maybe because the whole speech and the whole motivational talks that he's saying is from a wounded place in his heart. I'm not saying about Jordan Peterson, but when you're a comedian, you can be a sad person. You can be really,
that's a different thing.
you know,
Comedian,
and then
listen.
to express it, because all the time Jordan Peterson cries. Most of the time is when he is empowering a kid, and like we don't listen to them, and he start to cry because maybe he's the one who needs it as well. But
I mean,
it doesn't contradict
he's
that.
empowering kids, but telling Israel to blow
No, I'm not with this.
and to blast.
No, that's another thing.
To blast Palestine. That empowerment should be thrown out the window. He said, give them hell. Give them hell. They're giving them hell.
Yeah.
This is Jordan Peterson. How can someone... He said, Israel, give Palestine hell. And then his empowerment, the kids need this. I'm there for you, but give them hell. He's a contradiction. That's already a contradiction to what he's selling. It's like Mother Teresa starts dealing cocaine. You'd be like, huh? Mother Teresa, but she does cocaine on the weekends for money. She's selling what? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying about Peterson. Nothing wrong with crying. Crying, bro, I've never said that. I said he's contradicting what he says. And he truly does. And after he did that, I let it go. I thought, I'm not really... He's each to his own, do his thing. He's standing up for what he thinks. But when he said that, I lost every respect. Because if he's intellectual, like he says, a well-studied man, and look at history, to come out of that analysis, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, okay, but aren't you putting pressure on young guys not to be vulnerable or not to be a little bit expressing themselves, crying? But at the same time, you have the gym, you're empowering them. You're just like, be tough. You're a physically tough man, and but do you think, forget Jordan Peterson, are you with the man can express himself and still be masculine enough?
I don't even promote. I never say be masculine. I've never seen a podcast where I say you should be. I say train, be fit. I even said in a podcast a few months back, I said, look at Jesus, peace be upon him, Isa. He's not known as being the toughest, but he's the most respected. Like, he'll come back. I said, so each term, respect doesn't mean being the toughest or the strongest. It's about being a character. Be healthy, be fit. I tell men to be confident, but whatever it is you can be anything you want, but be built of values. Don't sell your soul. So I give a service to people to be fit, and it's a way to get away from your 9 to 5, your stress, your reset your mind. But I don't put pressure on anyone. Literally nothing. Like, I don't care about this. You could be the toughest guy in the world, but if you can't spell, I respect, like I told you earlier, the labor workers for me, the people who do the jobs we don't want to do, like clean toilets and go to. These people are the real men. They're more impressive than anyone in a UFC cage. So this is what I always say. I've never said you have to be, and everyone's got their different characters, like introverted, emotional. My point on the crying thing is, I can watch my kids play, I want to cry. If I watch Palestine kids crying, I watch The Lion King, I want to cry, because this is all about kids. Kids make you soft. My comments are purely on Jordan Peterson, because he's just he's a monkey, he's a donkey, and he's a genocidal supporter. And that's why I want to keep cussing him, because that comment he's respected by so many people. He's on that pedestal. You have a responsibility when you're followed to be very smart in what you do. You can influence kids. Jordan Peterson influences young boys who are vulnerable to be strong. He could say to them, do this, that. Imagine he says, yeah, I think you should take this injection, it'll work for you. They'll all take it. He's in that kind of place where it's dangerous. And he said, give them hell. So all these other boys who follow him go, yeah, Israel are winning, give them hell. And they start having this hatred towards Muslims. You don't understand the ripple effect that comes. So that's why he should be called out. He's responsible for saying certain things. And when you're on that platform, use it wisely, He's very, very influential. And that was, for me, I'd rather him wear a dress and become transgender than what he said. That's how much respect I lost for him. It was that dangerous a comment to make, because he's so vulnerable and he influences a lot. And the whole right support him, and all these millions of guys that read his books and follow his audio books. They're like, yeah, Palestine, well, Jordan Peterson said it. That's why you're still seeing, bro, they're still bombing today. Still. Yet you're seeing kids, there's a famine, they're still, why? Because the people like Jordan Peterson are supporting it. Ben Shapiro, Elon Musk walking around with his bulletproof vest with Netanyahu. Bro, what do you expect? These guys everyone looks up to supporting the war. Yeah, no chance. So yeah, I don't care. I don't care about Jordan Peterson, you know. If I saw him, I turned to his face, the same thing. I know you're a fan, but it is what it is.
No, I totally agree with you on that part. I'm just defending the part. Let's stop talking about Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
That's enough. The accuse of toxic masculinity in general. Andrew Tate, maybe for you, I don't know if you get that a lot or not, because like that kind of like mentality and toughness, and then maybe my wife is like that. That's how I draw the life of my woman, and the control and this. I mean, I'm on the balance of this, you know. It's like I would like the woman to be working, open-minded, have her own decisions, respect me as a provider, but she can be a part providing for the kids as well. And we're in a time where both man and woman needs to work and needs to help in raising the kids as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been called toxic masculinity. When they say about Tate, they get it wrong. He says, I'm old school, I'm traditional, I like to be the breadwinner. And if I'm making enough, she doesn't have to work. Tate's different. He says, for me, if me, you, or whoever, and the wife chips in, of course. But we talk about traditional values where traditionally the man is a protector. If a burglar comes into your house at night, you're going to make your wife get up and kill him?
No.
Why?
Because I'm tougher, I'm stronger.
Yeah, but we're equal. Feminism, why not? You're toxic masculinity. You know, you're sexist. Why not? You see what I'm saying? That's all he says. We have roles. For me, I told you, the mother's university. My mother taught me everything. I've got daughters, 2 girls and a wife. So women rule my house. And I said, look, I want my kids to be whatever they want to be. Like bosses. I told them, you can be anything. You want to be leaders. I'm not pushing them for whatever they want to be. But we are protectors. We are built differently, you know? Women are smarter. Men think stupid sometimes, you know. I have people come to me, my husband cheated. I say, you know, us men are retards. We're dumb. We're stupid. We don't think. We have no idea of what we're doing. We are idiots, yeah? You guys are smart. Sometimes these men make stupid mistakes by going to a massage bar or whatever, yeah? But people laugh at me. I'm saying, we're not. Men are like, you can make anyone laugh. Just give him some popcorn and chocolate. Watch a movie. He's like, yeah, that's good. Women think of everything, you know? We are designed differently. So that's what he says. It's not toxic. It's happened for centuries, you know? So my point is, if you can't, then of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's no such thing. Islamically, it's haram. Like, everyone's equal, but there's roles. Majority of men will be on the front line fighting in war or doing some jobs. The majority of women. Women are more maternal, caring. They're more softer. Most men will confide in a woman than a man. He can't go to his friend, I had this stress. He's like, get off me, you gay. It's the woman. So they're understanding. That's why they're best, like, from HR to caring to maternity wards to everything. It's a woman, because they know how to calm a child. My kids, if my wife leaves, they're like, oh, where mommy, come back with me. They're like, okay, bye. It's the mother's touch. You can't beat this. That's why heaven's on the woman's foot. The reward for women is higher. But my point is, there's roles. So people mistake it again. It's this how it is. And you respect each other. But there's boundaries. I believe there's no boundary. You have to, like, of course, like, have the woman have a right. Yeah, but when they say that, you want your woman on a girls' night at Mykonos for a month. Yeah, I'm going, babe. Leave the kids home and go to Mykonos for a girls' holiday. No, I don't agree with that. That's me. Running around, you're a married woman. We'll go with a family holiday. If you want to go to the girls, but like Mykonos, where there's all young, yeah, same way as a man. The men should also have a responsibility not to go out with your boys all night and do stupid things. It's a mutual thing. But when you say that, there's roles, and I believe there's always going to be those roles. And that's how society's functioned for thousands of years, and always will be. And trying to change these roles is what's happening now in the West. It's just everywhere. That's why these kids, I feel sorry for the younger generation. They're confused. They don't know what to do. It's okay. When you're 18, we'll realize what sex you are.
Yeah.
Just wear this dress and, you know, it's bullshit. My kids, I never told them to like anything or do anything. Naturally, they picked up Barbie. But I tried to get them to put boxing. I tried, you know? No. And they comb their hair. They put fake nail polish on me. It's just natural. I was watching the thing and I said to my wife, you see, we've not asked them to do anything. We'll buy whatever they want to play with. We don't care. If they want to dress like Superman or whatever, it's kids. Who cares? Let them dress like boys. I don't care. They're innocent. But they went themselves naturally to dolls and combing because they watch something. It's installed in them. So we're trying to change what's natural. So that's what it is. There's no such thing as toxic. I believe the man has a role, the woman has a role, and that's it. The woman's university, the man's protector.
Yeah, and probably your kids saw the male figure, which is very dominant there, and the female, which is,
My mother was the most dominant in my house, I
yeah.
think, yeah.
You always talk about your mother. What about your father?
Yeah, he's just a chill, quiet guy. He was strict, like he would. My mother was the boss. We scared her. My father just looked at the eyes and like this. But yeah, very good parents. No stress.
Like, how do you get the role model, like as a male role model in your life? And this is something maybe you can advise for maybe the single mom who had to raise her kids, and these kids who doesn't have a role male model in their life. And you're an amazing role model now for your kids, and you always talk about your mom. Do you think a mother can give that image?
100%. Sometimes they'll feel like, oh, I can't teach him to shave that, but most, like in those old generations, your father will be out all day working, no? So your father, he'd come back weekends, maybe drive somewhere. You didn't really see the father. They'll be working back. There's those kind of days hours where there's no laws. So it's the mother who taught us everything. So I believe you can. Mothers they're so important. Like for me, I think the mother is the base of every household. She teaches the values. The connection, the science, it comes from the woman's womb. So yeah, I truly believe. I've seen so many single moms raising super kids. It's tougher, they feel neglect, but if the mother is strong and she's adamant, of course, I think the mother's much more vital. And guys will be like, it's father to the father, of course. It's perfect, but the mother is much more of an important figure to me in the house than the father to the kids, by far. And I'm a father. There's no comparison.
Yeah, I love your shirt, TK Gold. Beautiful.
Yeah, this is just an excuse because it's free. I wear my own stuff, so everyone thinks I'm a bum. My wife's like, you have to buy clothes, dress up. I'm like, it's promoting. I actually brought another outfit to wear for the podcast. And I came out of the gym. I thought, you know what? I'm sweating now. I'm going to be late. I'm just going to wear this, khalas. But yeah.
No, let's promote it. I love promoting your place because it's amazing place. It's a place where amazing vibe is, the energy, and it closed for some time.
Yeah.
What was the reason? A lot of people were like, why did it close? It's just so many
issues,
rumors.
Yeah, legal issues with the landlord and things. And like I say, life's ups and downs. It was like, I needed that to wake up and go back to up. So, yeah, unfortunately, they found a dead body. I'm joking. They didn't find no dead body. Just with the way the price hikes came and everything changed. When the Ukraine war happened, Dubai just become expensive overnight. And it was a difficult time. So, yeah.
But Tom, how did you feel like you also sometimes you're too friendly, and in a way, like, I don't know how do you control or manage the whole thing, but you're too friendly as well in a way, which is not maybe support the business. It will support the image, and everybody loves the place, but in a business world,
I can be a bastard at times, but I'm also fair. But I've got my shrewd ways. I see, I don't associate people I can see who have that snake in them, and I have had many snakes here, and people try to defame me, make money from me, accuse me of things, and alhamdulillah, the truth always comes out, and I defeat those issues. But sometimes I used to be very tough. The closer I go to God, I said, this is a sign of arrogance. Just be, if you'll be good to everyone and you'll work fair and equal, everything works. I am tough. My staff will say differently. I have a system, but I guess no one steps out of line. They don't want to annoy me, so everything works flowing. I really believe your team, the morale is important. You can't just be like, I'm the boss. I don't like this word boss. Some of my Filipino staff go, hey boss. I said, don't call me boss. I hate this. Like, when your staff and your team are happy and the morale's high and they're getting bonuses and they're involved in everything, the business is always going to be successful. So your workforce are your business. What goes behind this, everything. It's not just we're the brand, but it's the people behind who make it what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's very important, people management. And this, for me, too autocratic doesn't work, that system anymore, and people, like you said, the new generation get offended by this. You can't be a certain way. It's not the 80s, 90s. So I think manage them good, be friendly, good, look after them. Sometimes they have their own personal issues. If you can, if you look after them how you can, they've made a mistake, don't be too harsh, educate rather than being like a Hitler screaming at them. But at the same time, it's a respect where people know not to step out of line, Like, I don't need to like walk around like, yeah, they know. Everyone knows that I have a system and that's it, We've worked together a long time, so alhamdulillah, it flows.
Yeah, you're in the sport business, and you build a big name and brand, and now you're moving into like a different world of business, and you're promoting it on social media. And tell me more about it.
Yeah, so what I found was with the West going so crazy, the general and the Middle East is really the new hub. It's the new West. It shouldn't be called it. It's the new West. And I'm getting people every day because I've here so long. You must get it. Tam, I'm coming there. What do I do? Who do I go for a job? What do I do? How do I get this? I'm like, hey, what am I? HR, every day, someone's cousin, someone's friend. So I said, look, there's a niche in this, and let's make a formation company. So for example, TK Business, what I've launched is anyone who wants to come here and form their own company, we do A to Z for you. We'll form a company, your visa's done, open bank accounts for you, all the things which if you're new here, you go to this department, that, you go to DED, you're sitting there, they go, no, wrong department, you drive there, it takes ages, you don't know what to do. If you don't know PROs, if you're not used to the culture, it's very hard. And when you go to these government departments, it's like crazy, it's busy, So we do A to Z, real VIP service, even what you want to invest in, to real estate, golden visas. We do A to Z. If you want to make the move to Dubai, form a company, get your family on visas, and I offer this service. And alhamdulillah, is really, really doing well. And I felt like it's a niche because so many people are making that move here. And the first thing they need is it's very hard to just come here and get a job. It's not just, I'm in Dubai, money's hanging on trees. Everyone thinks, no, it's not. You have to, people think there's money everywhere. It's not. It's a dream place, but you have to really work in networking. It takes time. So majority will save money to come and open a company so they can stay here with the visa. So I offer this service, and alhamdulillah, it's growing. We've got some big announcements coming soon, and really try and push that, concentrate on that as well. And it keeps me busy, and I enjoy it. It's the team behind who are doing all the hard work, not me. I'm just pushing it.
Well, you're doing great, and who are the most like people or nationalities that contact you usually?
It's
Russian.
We had a meeting the other day, wasn't it? UK and Canada is massive. They said Canada. I said Canada, yeah. They said a lot of leads from Canada, UK, Europe, Australia. These kind of leads are very big. I think Russians and Chinese, they stick to their own they're like in their own niches. But I'm also bringing in a Russian person, a friend who does this. So we're going to combine and the other projects. So yeah, it's just insane how Dubai, you'll know how long it's so cosmopolitan.
I mean, we live here and we can't believe it, honestly. But as you mentioned, it's like there's so many fake things as well. So people has to be careful because the moment anybody visit Dubai, he's gonna rent a Ferrari and take some pictures here and there, and it's like live the life of the dream. And people think that if you immediately come to Dubai, you're gonna be like rich. That's not true.
And it's I used to say that it's not Dubai. This is society. If you go to LA, London, everyone's doing it. It's social media. People say Dubai is fake. It's not fake. Social media is fake. So Dubai is just easier to get these rentals and the beaches. Everything's go to New York. I was in LA, Beverly Hills. The hotels are like 3-star compared to Dubai. I swear.
Yes.
Dubai spoils you. So when you come here, your content looks superb because it's Dubai. So I don't think it's fake. It's the ultimate hub for social media. LA is the same, Miami is the same, London's the same, Paris is the same. And Dubai, honestly, like, it gets a bad stick, but alhamdulillah, what the rulers have done here, and people think I'm paid or you support, I'm not. Our wives can drive anytime at night, no stress of getting robbed, murdered, kids being bullied. I just love the safety factor. My kids can run out and like on the scooters on the street with no stress of something, only maybe a crazy driver. And just this factor, whichever religion you can be, you want the beaches, you want the good food, the service. I mean, respect to all the cultures here who do the customer service. Trust me, when you go to other countries, you realize the service, how good it is here. And I think we take advantage too much how people are rude. Like, just say please and thank you more. Some of you guys, I have a restaurant, I see how rude you are. these people work hard and they've always got a smile on their face and appreciate it, because go to London, they'll slap you.
Yes.
Yeah, trust me, UK, they don't care. There is no, yeah. They're like, yeah, you want this? Here's a drink in your face. Here, it
Go
spoils
to
you.
Paris.
I swear,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
It spoiled you, and we're spoiled with this.
Yes.
The cleanliness. Go to a mall toilet.
It's like 5 stars hotel.
Go to a. I was in hospital. Go to a hospital. You can lick the floor. Go to UK. Go to UK. The public toilet is so bad. You couldn't even stand on the floor. It's disgusting. So this is testimony to this country's leadership, the customer service, and every person who lives here. So honestly, I'll always promote it. It's the greatest country on earth, UAE. No country's perfect. You're going to have flaws. You're going to have small issues. It's a baby country. It's still new. Mm-hmm. But for what it's doing and the service it gives to everyone, I really believe there's no place like it, in my opinion. And I've traveled a lot.
I mean, it's my opinion too, and it's not something that we promote because we're just like, no, because we live here and we believe in it, and it's changed our life, and I think it's a role model for any country, people, and for leaders as well. Like, you know, they are role models, and other leaders should look at how nice they are, how strict they are, and for the rules, and everyone loves them. I mean, you can see the sheikh walks on the street and without any guards, you know.
That's what I was about to say. Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. You will never see Prince William, Prince Charles, Joe Biden. The sheikh, the rulers will walk on the street and shake your hand and speak to you. I don't know, like, show off. I personally know one royal, a very powerful one. And I swear, every time I message the check, he checks in on me, he messages. I'm like, why do you, like, who am I? You are so busy and you're checking in and you're doing this. Like, for what reason? Like, what? I bring no benefit to this man. Nothing at all. Maybe an annoyance, you know? Where'd you get that? People I see approach the rulers for problems or medical things. And I've seen them help. I'm telling you, I do not, wallahi, I'm not paid to promote in any way. I wish I was, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not. And this is what I like. The way they walk with no guards, you can greet them. It's a kind of thing which helps the people be more happier. And look at how they look after their own race, like the Emirati indigenous. In the UK, their own people, like you have these people from the wars and the homeless, elderly. They don't even look after their own people. You know, their own people have built. So I appreciate how they look after their own too. You should look after your people the way they look after them with the weddings and land. So I respect that as a leaders of the country. And I think more countries should take a small piece of that and help. It'll help society in general function, you know?
Yes, take it as an example. Tam Khan, thanks a lot.
Pleasure.
I really enjoyed talking to you. You're an amazing person. And glad, I mean, now we can become friends. And,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, man.
Anytime, bro. Pleasure to be on here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.